Good afternoon. It's Ron Durant, and we're sitting out here in my backyard where I have planted some wildflower seeds in a little corner of the backyard near the fence, and they're all starting to come up. And I came out here this afternoon and saw a butterfly, and I thought, well, I better get my camera out and come out here and get some photographs. So last year I took a corner of my backyard and kind of tilled it up a little bit and got some wildflower packets from Walmart and threw them on the ground. I didn't know what I was going to get. I got kind of a natural setting in the back corner of my yard, back behind my bird studio, which is dismantled this time of year. I don't really feed the birds in the summertime too much. I got a moth right here kind of playing around. Let's see if I can get a couple photographs of it to show you. It's on a blue flower. There's a green stem obstructing my view. Anyways, I've seen some bugs out here, so I went and got my Z6ii out and put my 105 f-mount macro lens G 2.8, which I really like. It's a good lens, and brought a chair out here. Decided I'd sit down and see if I could get a couple photographs of some of these bugs in the backyard. And so far I've seen some flies and some green beetles, and I also seen a little spotted beetle, kind of orange color, in one of these red flowers. And I'll show all those in the video here in just a few minutes. But right now we're just kind of sitting out in the backyard. It's cloudy out. So my camera settings today are 1/1000th f11 at ISO 3200, and I've got the VR turned on the lens, which means the camera's picking it up. And one of the things I noticed about these f-mount lenses, when you're using VR, you can put your ear up to the camera like this, and you can actually hear the VR running constantly. I thought it was kind of weird, but there's no way to turn it off in the camera, but you can turn it off on the barrel and it'll shut down. These are some Shasta daisies that I have cultivated over the last 2 or 3 years. And you can see there's a fly crawling on one of them right now, and I'm going to take some photographs of that fly right now. So in the one corner of the yard, we created a little wildflower garden. It's not much to look at. I live in a rural area, so we have deer, and they don't seem to bother the wildflowers, but don't bother planting any sunflowers because they will just chew them things up. They like the hostas too. But this is our little wildflower patch, and I've already found some interesting subjects out here today that I've been photographing. So I brought a chair out here because I find myself kneeling down quite a bit, and I brought a tripod just in case, but I've been hand holding most of my shots, and I'm using the Nikon Z6ii and the f-mount 105 2.8G macro lens, which is my favorite macro lens. Well, actually it's my only macro lens. I've got it with the FTZ adapter. It works pretty well on this camera, and it functions really well. I see some flies right here. I'm going to try to take a few photographs of them right now. I'm shooting at 1/1000th of a second and f11, and I've dialed in about plus 0.7 exposure compensation. It's a little cloudy right now, so the ISO is floating around 3200. These little flies are quick. That's why a tripod's really not much use out here. I just kind of put it in the tripod every once in a while just to rest it. And I see one of these funky looking little green bugs. I need to find the name of those and see what they're called. I'm gonna try to make a picture of one right here. It looks like a little beetle. I'm pretty close to it. I'm gonna try to get a little bit closer. The breeze is blowing just a little bit. I've got it on autofocus continuous. I'm trying not to use that if I can help it, but I'm not as steady as I used to be. I'm 65 years old, and I don't wear my glasses when I shoot. Just a thing. And I'm right-handed, and my dominant eye is my left eye, and I'm kind of backwards on everything. Kind of glad we planted these wildflowers this year. It kind of gives me an opportunity just to stay at home and do some photography without traveling much. I like to save my traveling for in the fall and the spring when I can do some landscape photography. So basically I like to do landscape photography. I like waterfalls a lot, sunsets, sunrises, and wildlife. I like wildlife a lot, and macro. So those are kind of the three basic things I do. This is the first time I paid attention to bugs. Usually my macro shots are of flowers, mainly flowers that I find. So this is kind of new for me, doing bug photography in the backyard. I see that moth again. I'm gonna try to move in kind of slow. So far I've seen like 3 different bugs and had one moth out here. Not too sure what the bugs are going to be called. I'll have to look them up. I know one of them was a fly, and another one was like a beetle, a green effervescent beetle that I've seen on my rose bushes before. There's all kinds of little compositions out here, not just of bugs, but of flowers that you could shoot. So I'm just kind of trying a few of those right now. So right in front of me, I've got this little, I guess it's a fly. It's almost hard to see with the naked eye. I'm gonna put my lens on it and get a couple photographs of it. And I tell you what, sometimes there's just no better place to go but right in your own backyard. You don't have to drive very far to find places to photograph. I actually planted these flowers with the intention of coming out here and taking photographs. So it's kind of a win-win. Don't have to drive very far, save a little money. We'll move over to this other side. Try for something different here. So far I'm seeing pretty much the same bugs everywhere I look. There's different ways you can focus on things up close like this. Some people like to do manual focus. I'm not real good at that. I'll be the first to admit that. So I like to use autofocus continuous and try to hold the camera as steady as I can with my hands. When I'm doing flower photography, I'll try to use a tripod. I'm a little bit better with that. Here's that moth again. Let me see if I can get a closer shot of that moth. I believe it got its eyes sharp. Yeah, you can see its antenna. Anyways, he just moved a little closer. Love it when the bugs are cooperative. Hold still, little fella. Yeah. Some of the flowers that are out here that was in those seed package are interesting. They're flowers I've never really seen before, like these white ones right here. And then they come in a blue variety like this one. And I believe these red flowers are, I guess, are a poppy or something. I don't know, I'm not really up on my wildflowers. I do have a book on them though. I should go in there and look, see what it says. And then I got all kinds of other interesting flowers. I got some like purple, look like purple phlox. They're small. Little flowers. And then we got some dainty ones that are like pink and white with a black center, like these right here. Anyways, if you come out and do something like this out in the field or in your backyard, I suggest you get a little bit of off and spray your pant legs a little bit. You don't want to get chiggers and possibly getting a tick or two. But I feel pretty confident back here. I'm not really thick into it, but if you're doing it in the wild, I would take a little bit of precautions on that. Also watch where you're stepping this time of year. You might step on a Johnny No-Show. Well, it's starting to cloud up a little bit to the west, so I better put things up. It might start raining any minute on me. So thanks for coming by today, and hope you enjoyed this little backyard shooting in the wildflower garden, and hope you enjoyed some of the photographs that I'm going to show in this video and have shown in the video. There's still some flowers to come up yet. Anyways, if you like the content, you like the video, give it a thumbs up, please. It helps me go a long way. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind. Get notifications turned on, and that way you'll find out when I do other videos. So until next time, I'll see you, and y'all have a good day. Bye-bye now.